Hi students, welcome to NIRS Education. So as we already know that in the process of reproduction there are two types, that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So already in the previous session we have seen that the asexual reproduction and its types. So asexual reproduction is a type of reproduction in which only one parent involves. Only one parent involves, or involvement of only one parent takes place. But here in the sexual reproduction, so as we already know that two parents are needed in the sexual reproduction, and they have the capacity to produce the two different sex cells respectively in the father and mother. So the sperms are produced by the father and eggs are produced by the mother. So our father is male and mother is female, as we already know that. So this means that a man is male and woman is female, and a man has the male sex and woman has the female sex. So from the basic I am telling, listen this class very carefully, so you will get the exact idea here about the sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. So the boys, the man comes under the male sex, and girl and female comes under the female sex. So here we can see these two, man and woman, has the capacity to produce the sex cells. The man and woman has the capacity to produce or to give the sex cells. Those are called the gametes. So the male gamete is sperm and female gamete is egg. The male gamete is sperm and female gamete is egg. So the cells which are involved in the sexual reproduction, those are called the gametes. The cells which involves in the sexual reproduction, the cells which involves in the sexual reproduction, those are called the gametes. Or gametes are also called as the reproductive cells. Gametes are also called the reproductive cells. So the male gamete in animal is the sperm and female gamete in the animals is ovum, or it is called as egg. It is called as egg. So here you can see the picture of the both the gametes, that is the sperm and egg respectively. This is the sperm and this is the egg. So when the fertilization takes place, here the question arises, what do you mean by the fertilization? So the fertilization is the process of the fusion of male and female gametes. The process of fusion of the joining of the male and female gametes, the sperm and egg, when they fuse together, that is called the fertilization. So the fusion of male and female gamete is called the fertilization. Or we can also say the definition of fertilization is like the fusion of male and female gamete to form the zygote. To form the zygote during the sexual reproduction. During the sexual reproduction, the fusion of male and female gametes takes place and the formation of zygote is going to take place. That is called fertilization. So here in the animals we can see that there are two types of the fertilization processes are going to take place. Here one more question will arise, that what do you mean by the zygote? So zygote is the product of the fertilization, and that is single cell. The zygote is single cell. Even after the fusion of the male and female gamete, it is formed. After the fusion of the male and female gamete, the zygote is formed. But after the fusion, it will convert the two cells, that is the sperm and egg, will convert into a single cell that has the single nucleus. Both the sperms and egg has the different nucleus when they are different. But when they fuse together, the nucleuses and whatever the material present in the cells, those also going to fuse together and they will form a single cell. They will form a single cell, that is called the zygote. That is the product of fertilization. Okay, the product of fertilization is nothing but a zygote. So this zygote will develops, this will divide again, and this will form the embryo, and after that we can see the fetus. So there is a lot of difference between the embryo and fetus. In the embryo, we can't identify the different parts of the baby in the womb, but in the fetus we can differentiate all the particular parts of the body of the baby. So that is the difference between the embryo and fetus. So here we can see the structure of the magnified sperm, the structure of the magnified egg, and the structure of the zygote and the fetus. Here we can see the different parts of the baby, that is head, hands, legs, fingers. So everything is formed, but in the embryo we can't differentiate these parts. So this is the sperm, this is the egg. When these two fuse together, the zygote will be formed. The zygote will form. After the development of this zygote, the embryo will form. So the embryo will convert into the fetus. So this is what the development which is going to take place step by step at the time of the gestation period. So now let's discuss about what you mean by the fertilization, what are its types. So as we already discussed that the fusion of male and female gamete is called the fertilization. So in the fertilization there are two types, that is the internal fertilization and external fertilization. So the fertilization which occurs inside the female body, listen me carefully, the fertilization which occurs inside the female body, that is called the internal fertilization. So in the human beings, in the dog, in the elephant, in the cat, in the cow, so the fertilization takes place inside the female body. So the transfer of the sperm is going to take place into the female body. The male organism transfers the sperms to the female body. So then the fertilization takes place in the body of the female. That is called internal fertilization. So the egg is fertilized in the female animal's body. So that is called the internal fertilization. So in the other words, we can take some other examples like in mammals, including the human beings, in the birds, in the reptiles. So this internal fertilization is going to take place. But the external fertilization means the fertilization which takes place outside the female body. So here you can see how the external fertilization takes place in the frog. So after the mating of male and female, so the female lays the eggs. So the female lays the eggs, and after that the male is going to lay the sperms on the eggs, there only the fertilization is going to take place. So in the water bodies, the female will lay the egg on any branch of the plant or in the any rock of inside the water. So there only the male will lays or male will put the sperms on the egg. So then the fertilization takes place. Means here the internal fertilization is not going to take place. The fertilization taking outside the body of the female. So that is called the external fertilization. In external fertilization, the female animal's eggs are fertilized by the sperms outside its body. So for example, in the frog and in the fish, and the fertilization of the eggs occurs outside in the female animal's body. So in the amphibians and in the some fish, so the external fertilization is going to take place. Hope it is clear. If you have any doubts regarding this one, so send the questions to my WhatsApp number and try to understand the concept. Thank you and have a nice day.